Hello and welcome back to 709 Meridian, Cycle 3. And here we are with the third film in our quadrilogy. As always, I am D, and this is
Andrew.
And we're doing the Jaws films for our Cycle 3, Season 3 commentary run. And we're doing the big one here, Jaws 3. I'm hyped.
Yep. I'm very excited. I think the last time I saw this, some fucking guy did a fan cut of this. And for my birthday a few years ago, I took the day off to watch this, and I will never watch another fucking fan cut again in my life. So I was very disappointed. So I'm very excited to go back to Jaws 3. And let's see what else. There is an unsynced commentary version of this. So if you don't want to watch along, you can just listen. And that's in the podcast feed as well as on YouTube. So if you don't want to watch along, that's all good.
That's that option.
We're not watching in 3D, unfortunately, but
and even without 3D, you know
where the 3D is, right? Like,
yeah, some of these effects are clearly, hey, here's what's coming at you.
All right. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, play.
All right, we've got the...
Okay, we actually do have a different Universal logo. We've got the 3D logo.
3D Universal logo.
Yeah, that's
ding,
cool.
Ding.
Oh, the 3D titles are fucking jank, though. Like, it's kind of okay because Jaws 2 doesn't really have very classy opening titles, but they're classier than this.
Well, yeah.
The 3D title phenomenon sort of set movie titling back a few years in the early 80s.
Yeah.
It's like Superman, but we spent $4.60 on it.
Just so it could come right at you.
But then we just missed it. We had a little bit of the not Jaws theme. There we go. Little predatory yell there. But in the background there, we had a little bit of Alan Parker's themes, which are not the thrill themes. He has some very, very nice music in this one. But yeah, I presume that would be floating in front of my face, and it would be gross because it's a decapitated
exactly what you want to see.
Yep.
Your first
a long shot too. Like,
here we go.
There we go. Jaws 3D.
Which came in at the early 80s of the, 3D revival.
Yep.
Jaws 3D, Friday the 13th 3D, Amityville
3D. What else?
3D. Well, I remember to me the biggest thing was Creature from the Black Lagoon. Remember? That was on TV.
That was on TV.
You could get your glasses from 7-Eleven.
But were there any other? Was there any sci-fi in 3D? I can't remember.
Oh, that animated movie. Star Chaser.
Okay, so you just had Shark Theme by John Williams. Otherwise, this is going to be Alan Parker.
Completely.
Love this fucking soundtrack. Like,
it is really good.
Yeah. Like, he gets it. There's all sorts of...
Suggested by the novel. Jaws.
Right. The characters created by Richard Matheson and and Carl Gottlieb, who co-wrote 1 and 2, but Richard Matheson is no.
Directed by Mr. Joe Alves.
Yeah, Matheson wrote a bunch of Twilight Zones and Incredible Shrinking Man. Wrote a bunch of novels. Like he's no slouch. So we're just shark right off, right? Like it's not even like the last one. Leah Thompson.
Yeah, Leah Thompson.
This the beefcake over there is going to figure in. So this was 83, so 2 years before Back to the Future.
Yeah. Are they gonna make it?
There's no more like pretending in this one. It's not trying to be classy. It's just trying to be
no. Because when the shark attacks, it's coming right at you.
Yeah, it's just trying to be a joke. That's not what the twist is going to be. We'll see what that is, but so yes, so it is SeaWorld.
It is
SeaWorld,
SeaWorld.
Florida somewhere.
Mm-hmm. This is your establishing life.
Yes, at the not theme park. Well, it is kind of a theme park, right? Like
yeah. Because now it does have like roller coasters and shit.
So
which is cool as hell.
We get a bunch of introduction to the later sets, later set pieces. It's kind of like a disaster. It's more of a disaster movie setup, right? Like
yeah, very much, very Irwin Allen-esque.
There
we go.
Here we go. Lou Gossett Jr. as Calvin Bouchard.
Calvin Bouchard.
Just waiting for him to say something.
Right?
Oh shit, see, we don't get it yet. Instead, we've got the shark. And the shark is gonna make it through the gates, I think.
Just it right before.
Uh-oh.
Look at hard ticket to Hawaii over here.
So yeah, this is here we go.
It's shot nice.
Oh yeah. Especially considering the 3D cameras were not like as nice as a Panavision.
Panavision, yeah.
Yeah.
This is after the Oscar, isn't it?
I think that was 82.
Yeah.
I wonder who had the idea for this. Like, was it the movie or was it Lou Gossett Jr.?
Well, his name carried weight.
Yes.
People were at this point going to see it because he was in it. Here we have Dennis Quaid.
Yep. So this is before Mr. Meg Ryan. Sort of at this point, his biggest hit would have still been Breaking Away. So Breaking Away is Dennis Quaid on his own. And it's going to be really relaxed, personable performance. Like, it's incredibly different from what Lance Guest, being a jackass in the next one. Okay, so the dolphins.
Oh, damn dolphins.
But yeah, since they're since they're shooting at SeaWorld, they can do a lot more easy water shots.
Yeah. It's like the Baywatch SeaWorld special.
Right. Everybody gets around all the time. All right.
Uh-huh.
So here's the start of the Jaws 3 love theme, which is awesome. We get to it in a bit, but this is the sort of it's fun to work at SeaWorld with animals music. Like, I mean,
it's kind of seeking into it, though. You can hear it.
Yeah. The other ones don't really have that aspect, even though they take place in a vacation town. Like, there's not a lot of fun to them. The second one, obviously, with the teenagers is different, but like, the Chief's a miserable bastard.
I remember there was a lot of coverage of this movie back in the day. They had a lot of behind the scenes.
Right. Well, I mean, it was 5 years after the last one, so this was a big, and no Roy Scheider.
It was a tentpole.
Yeah. 3D, like,
Yeah. HBO ran the hell out of it too.
But you got the cute couple here. So one of the funny things on the Flash TV show, when they adapt the Firestorm arc, they basically duplicate this relationship exactly. The guy is like an engineering construction guy, and the girl's like a scientist, and it really does feel like they're doing Jaws 3 Mike and Kay setup. Trying to remember.
Mr. Manimal himself, Simon McCorkindale.
Now, you would think that Manimal's rather infamous failure would have followed him around, but not really. He was
well, they brought him back.
British for hire.
They brought him back for what was it? Nightman? Nightman had a Manimal crossover.
Good grief. Glenn Larson. Okay, so here's the brother.
Who looks like a guest star from a sitcom from back then.
I think that's about all John Pooch did. Though he I think he went into like theater direction in LA or something, but like I don't remember what he did, but He did not stick with the acting. He's somebody's kid.
Hmm.
I thought he was somebody's kid, like some actress from the 60s' kid. All right. This isn't some classy Jaws movie. We get some shark action every, 7 minutes in this one. We're not messing around.
Malibu Express over here. His days are numbered.
Hey, just listen to the music. Nope. Not that music. Uh-oh. He's making sound underwater. We learned last time that that's important.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Our little Jaws eating montage, too. Oh, and a floating arm.
3D.
Ooh, scary.
Look at that arm.
Well, it's so weird because it's like it's in 3D and it's so they slow it down, right? Like, pay attention.
Okay, so it's establishing that shark is not getting out of there because he's locked in the caged area.
Yep. So in the 50s, Universal's Creature from the Black Lagoon series had one of these. They capture the shark and they take it to a aquarium thing.
Yeah, I think that was
Walks Among Us?
Creature Walks Among Us, yeah.
And so it I don't know, it always just seemed like it fit to me. Like,
that's a very good reason why this one is decent. It's more entertaining than Jaws 2.
mm-hmm.
I mean, like I always say, it's a good monster movie, but it's a shitty Jaws sequel.
Right. So now we get there's a bunch of exposition about what's happened to the kids since the Jaws movie or whatever. So, but it he's spending the most time ever with Bess Armstrong and they're introducing Leah Thompson to everybody. So it's like they get away with their expository dumps. And it's just like, the likable slasher movie cast, right? Like this is still pre-Nightmare on Elm Street. So it's like this was still the era where the kids mattered in Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Definitely after Friday the 13th Part 2, where some of the characters were really more broadly drawn out. And then 3, they were given personalities. So this is around definitely that time. Shift to the younger folks.
Mm-hmm.
Because they knew who was, buying the tickets to this stuff.
Beer. That beverage that you just drink in the movies and it's only ever called beer. You couldn't
Beer, right.
get Michelob to agree to
Oh, you can use the bottle. You better not say that name.
So we're not going to have any of the romantic turmoil of Jaws 2. The ladies just can't keep their hands off of Sean in this one.
Right.
But these two guys who are going to go into the lagoon and they're stealing precious coral or something. It's just like the setting provides for a lot more. Mm-hmm.
Cannon fodder.
Yeah, like it's not like one or two where people know these characters. They're in a wide enough area now that the shark can kill strangers. Like
basically anybody who cares.
Could have happened in 4, except they didn't have enough shark attacks.
No. 4 was a drama.
But I'm trying to think, like, yeah, this is just one of those. I mean,
this is very Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like a PG early slasher movie, right? Like
disposable, just kind of victims.
Okay. So now we're going to get to the love theme section. And this is where I was like, the first time I saw this, I remember distinctly being like, people don't like this movie. Like, why wouldn't you like it's like, like, why wouldn't you like, I don't get it. Like, though sort of couples hero movies are not really a thing. But yes.
Yeah.
Here we get the lovely. There we go. Some exposition. The shark attack 8 years ago in Amity. No mention of Jaws 2. So.
Right. The second shark that would have kept us the hell away from the water.
My dad's the same way. That'll be our mention, I think, of Martin. That's it. I also like Bess Armstrong. Like, I feel like she got a bum rap.
She never got to be what she could have been. She was always good in whatever she was in.
Yeah, it's just she was always in the sort of like.
Ever think I've seen her bad in anything.
Yeah. But it's like High Road to China is actually fine. Like it's, discount Indiana Jones, but it's also fine. Like.
And of course, Lace.
I think I have yet to see Lace. She was also in the Four Seasons, right? Like I think that's where she got her start. So it's just also a weird time that like early 80s, there was still like the acting, proving yourself through soaps and shit like that. Like Demi Moore was a soap star for a second. Like it was
but it was always people you didn't expect to leave the soaps, and like because you always thought it would be like the those
leads,
major,
but no,
and they never left. Some of those folks, it was always somebody was there, maybe a season or two,
and then they were off to breaking through. I mean, Christopher Reeve,
and he was a theater guy too.
Yep. So just a totally different, like you also didn't break out as young and shit like that. Like,
I know this dude had like a family tie somewhere in his.
Oh yeah, he probably had some family. He was probably a Mallory date and a I I think he went on to at least one Star Trek alien makeup thing. Like,
definitely a Star Trek.
Yeah. But like he's a, not dumb dope. Like,
He's a good old boy.
yeah.
Explains the hat.
Yeah. It's fine. Okay. So it always did bother me. This clearly is not shot in the same place.
No. They might have gone back to Universal for this one.
But there is the sound. Like, I mean, it's like, that's kind of the thing is that I don't understand the digs on this. Like, it's not competently produced, right? Like, it's always in focus when there's sound, diegetic sound that some of the characters would need to hear, the other characters hear it. Like, it's not, there's a lot more incompetent shit that people give a lot more credit. But I think it is just that, Jaws 2 comes off as like not Jaws 1, but still like a legit sequel. So,
and because it came so close after, it came during the phenomenon. This was very much, what can we make off of this?
Right. It was a later cash grab. Originally, I forgot to mention this. It was going to be called Jaws 3 People Zero, and it was going to be a spoof. Yeah. So, yeah, this was some of the other great ideas Universal had at the time. They shot Smokey is the Bandit with Jackie Gleason. Smokey is the Bandit
with Jackie Gleason as both parts.
Playing both parts, and then had to recut it because nobody got it, and that has never been released.
But they have a trailer that surfaced. They're pretty dry.
Mm-hmm. He's scared of the water, though. They were just like...
Yeah, waist below.
Yeah, they were just testing it. It's the nicest Mike is ever to his brother in one of these fucking movies. There we go.
Down goes another one.
There were some other movies with big undersea sequences at this point, right? Like Never Say Never Again has a lot of undersea shit. So like it's one of those, we haven't really returned to it after Sphere and Deep Blue Sea, but I don't think there's been any sort of resurgence of it since then.
Recently they did the Meg.
Yeah.
And that's getting a sequel, I guess. But
yeah.
They don't, there was that whole, remember late 80s, they did
1989
back-to-backs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
Deep Star 6. Deep Star 6, Leviathan,
The Abyss. And then there were 3 dirt cheap ones too. Lords of the Deep, something else. So it was just very much the phenomenon.
See, everybody's just
it's just
fine and dandy.
They're just fun people to hang out with, even if they do have old fucking donuts on their shelf for some reason.
Yeah, old ass Dunkin' Donuts box.
Okay, so in that shot, we've got Dunkin' Donuts, Wheaties, and
Wheaties.
Tropicana.
Didn't 7-Eleven have cups
I don't know.
for
Keep me
this?
off eBay looking for them. I had to fucking buy the 2-disc soundtrack used because I didn't know it came out. That was not those fucking entradas or whatever they are. Those aren't cheap once they go out of print.
Huh. I swear there was another big promo for this. I think maybe they had trading cards too.
Oh yeah, they had trading cards. Yeah. So yeah, I mean this was also the era of the trading card, right? Like
Oh yeah, everything had trading cards. E.T., Goonies, Gremlins.
Gremlins 2 had them still. Batman.
Batman, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think did Star Wars had them. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least Return of the Jedi did.
Because a lot of those card sets gave away like
Yeah.
original shit.
Simon Corkindale's a sexist pig.
Stuff that never made it to those movies.
Is it Halloween? Are you talking about Is It Halloween? Simon
Simon
Corkindale
McCorkindale,
is kind of like,
aka British Dirk Benedict.
well, he's kind of like a tall Michael York type, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
also people really didn't like the dolphins, right? Like,
Yeah, they were annoying.
I mean,
Ow.
have we seen Jar Jar Binks? Like annoying annoying side characters. That is that is a fucked up. Those are some fucked up pictures, man. Looks like a Bond henchman.
78 Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Malibu Express. This
All right, so now we get to some of the set piece stuff. The effects. They have a
mhm.
mini sub, which they sort of bring back in 4, which was
Oh, definitely.
interesting, but they don't bring it back with the amazing composite shots we're going to get in this because it's a 3D thing.
Right.
I mean,
You're gonna see it kind of floating around and
this is like this is a disaster movie post Airplane where they're like, oh, we can just use those special effects and play it straight, right? Like,
yeah. And they were kind of lacking at this point. how long has it been since the arm?
Mm-hmm. But there you go.
Yep.
Now there are the rocks. The people are probably
These
closer to
Viewmaster
us.
effects.
Very exciting. I mean, the funny part about not quite, look at that. Did you see the fucking
Yeah, the bottom.
Not quite Captain Kirk looking at the Enterprise. But that's kind of the funny thing is like no special effects movies from the early 80s that didn't have ILM were any good except for Star Trek. And that's because they hired what's his face away from it and shit. Like,
oh yeah.
Just because the technology existed, nobody knew how to do it except ILM. And that would be the case for 10 years. Like,
oh wow.
A
pirate ship.
Oh yeah. Oscar the
This isn't Disney World you guys ran into? The old submarine ride? See that?
Was that a 3D shot, I wonder?
Yeah, it had to have been. They lingered too long. Damn dolphins.
What's so funny about the Dennis Quaid Mike Brody is there's no way that Mike Brody would ever be like this well adjusted with Martin as his dad, right? Like he's just way too laid back. Like,
yeah, this is almost like I guess they did sort of retcon out too, because he's just too normal.
mm-hmm. It's kind of I'm trying to think mainstream, not shit budget, so not Starship Troopers, not shit budget sequel that breaks continuity this much. This would be the equivalent of Godfather 3 being a spin-off starring John Travolta as like the bastard grandson, but nobody else from the original movies is in it, right? Like boom. Really shitty shark. So that's kind of the thing about this movie is that like
this one in particular, look at that.
It's got great sets. It's got some cool underwater stuff with actors.
Yeah.
It's got them riding on dolphins like
the big Aquaman getaway.
Yeah. But the shark effects are terrible and it just doesn't matter because like disaster movies, if they had good special effects, that's fine, but like plenty of disaster movies are just fine without good special effects.
This one in particular is bad because I don't believe they made an actual they didn't make a whole shark for this.
Not a full size one, I don't think. We'll see some models later, but no, I don't think they did. They were overconfident in their ability to use miniatures post Star Wars and Empire and shit. All right. Boom. I don't know. Maybe they make a baby shark in this one.
They make a baby, the small one, but they don't make the big one. Definitely not.
Calvin Bouchard should have been a franchise. Just him fucking up businesses, right? Like
just everywhere. They keep handing them different franchises to run. Calvin Bouchard running Six Flags and shit.
5 years ago, I'd say you could still do it, but I feel like Lou Gossett Jr. is too old.
Yeah, now, yeah. If they'd have got him before Tyler Perry got to him.
Okay, so now we're going to get to the subplot of we're going to film the shark and sell it, which seems like a bad idea, but they're going to do it because Calvin Bouchard wants to make a buck.
All you see is dollar signs in his cha-zing, cha-zing.
Just some movie where Bess Armstrong and Richard Dreyfuss are sitting at a bar drinking, bitching about like the Brodies. Melvin or Mario Van Peebles comes in at the end, right? Like you're supporting cripe. What are they called? Ichthyologist cast, right? Like evil Dabney Coleman over there.
Yeah.
Like
evil
he's
British
like
Dabney Coleman.
He's like a mix of Dabney Coleman and what's his face from
Brian Brown.
I was gonna say what's his face from Commando.
Oh, Vernon Wells.
Yeah. Everybody's smoking cigarettes because it's 1983. Like,
right. It looks like Ghostbusters and shit.
not quite as exciting as Roy Scheider. Oh wow, but I bet
look at
like
that.
getting squirted in the face.
That was the money shot, folks.
Uh-huh. Trying to think what other disastery movies you would have after this.
I
always say that Die Hard has a lot of disaster movie elements to it, and especially the second one. But like by this time, Irwin Allen was doing TV movies. It's surprising he never did a TV movie shark attack thing, but maybe.
Wasn't he always doing airplane shit?
He did something called Cave In. He did one called like Heat Stroke, where it was just too hot. Like the TV movies are just like did not fight like.
Well, you can't go big on TV.
No.
So
especially not back then.
Yeah, you couldn't do Earthquake, any of that shit. And when you think about Die Hard, it's kind of a sideways towering inferno.
Mm-hmm. It's a disaster movie without the disaster, exactly.
Right.
But I mean, then the second one, they're on the plane, they're on the ground, they're in the control room. It's like it follows
the airport
that
is under siege.
There's a reporter around. It's like the beats of a disaster movie.
Mm-hmm. Cast of thousands.
Here we go. Calvin just agreed with the good guys. So that's important. Except, I think, is this the point where Shitty Dabney Coleman takes one anyway? Like he's got the backup? Because that's going to be a thing. Oh,
this is where they catch it, the small one.
This is where they catch the small one. Shh, we're giving it away. This is the only Jaws movie with 2 sharks, though, right?
Yeah. Well, there's questionably 4, but well.
So there'd be 5.
Don't get 8.
I think the other thing I always liked about the 2 of them is that she does her job and he does his, and they don't bicker about, they're both good at their jobs, right? It's so that's kind of the thing.
She's not trying to tell him how to do what he does,
and he's not telling her she can't handle the Jaws hunting and shit. It's not.
Yeah. There's not too much conflict between them.
No, they're just a hero couple, which is not still not a thing. At least in movies. It's kind of like Heart to Heart without any money and sharks, I guess, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. You need more of those.
Yeah.
When they came together, it was mighty.
Oh, wow. Ron Howard's uncle there. If you've never seen, listener, if you've never seen late 70s Ron Howard with his mustache, you need to do some Googling.
Oh, no, he did the Welcome Home episodes.
With the mustache?
Happy Days, yeah.
He had the mustache in American Graffiti, too.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah. You owe it to yourself to see what that looks like.
He held on to that shit for a minute.
Yeah, and then he was just one of those guys who just grew. It's hard to explain the 80s and mustaches. All right, so
there's a lot of stock footage of the shark.
Boom, there we go.
There we go.
3D. Okay, so they don't have barrels on them. Instead, they've got balloons on them. Oh, she got him.
A lot of National Geographic footage going because of the lack of actual mechanical shark.
Yeah. I wonder if it was just too hard with the 3D, if it was...
I don't think it was budget.
I don't know, though, because it's getting this is not going to be a cheap finale.
Because they wasn't a lot of it spent on the 3D, the cameras and all that shit.
The cameras would have been really expensive and shit like that. And yeah, we're not even to the big 3D sequences yet. The shark hasn't really Been in 3D. Lou Gossett Jr. is concerned, right? Like, it's just... Everybody's...
It's like, fuck y'all. It's a film, okay?
I think they just let Lou Gossett just mug his way through the scene, and it works out, man. Like, Lou Gossett Jr. is a Cajun entrepreneur, like I said. Okay, so here's some kind of a shark, but it's asleep, so doesn't have to be very detailed.
This paper mache shark, like. Oh God. Look at that shit.
It's flat. It's actually, I think it's two-dimensional.
Like they're keeping it down to keep it from floating.
Mm-hmm. They put some fins on like a foam thing.
Oh, see that?
Mm-hmm.
They could nurse the shark together.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's... He's going to like it so much after he dumps her, he's going to go into the school himself, move to the Bahamas with his new wife, and have his own sequel. This is also from the era where Florida still meant like redneck. Like, that didn't last through the 90s.
Not really. I
mean, unless you were doing something about like the Klan, right? Like, they'd established that Florida rednecks were a big problem by the 90s.
Hey, it's Shamu.
Shamu doesn't, they mention him before, but he doesn't appear anywhere, I don't think.
No.
They got
not
the
actual Shamu, I don't think.
Oh.
Well, wait.
Never mind.
That could be Shamu. Marvelous. It's the intro to 3-2-1 Contact.
This is family preview weekend. Don't they use that for Jurassic Park 5? Or 4? Isn't Jurassic World
the original?
No, because that's
that's right. That was the test run.
team. I think that Jurassic World uses that.
Yeah. Family, yep. Maybe we could have a coupon day.
Lou Gossett Jr. in 3D in that shot? Because
the flowers.
Okay, so Lou Gossett Jr. is not going to listen to Bess Armstrong, and he's going to put the great white shark on display at SeaWorld.
Oh, look at that boat.
Mm-hmm. And look at who's driving it.
That boat is A boat equivalent of a pimp car.
Mhm.
That was a Grand Marquis boat. The El Tornado boat.
Is there a pig mascot to SeaWorld or
SeaWorld used to have a lot of shit. SeaWorld had the DC Comics stunt show for a long time. They said it in the comic books advertised.
But that wasn't in 3D, was it? Like, so
that might be in 3D.
We're getting the same thing of you're getting a special behind the scenes, or you're getting to see SeaWorld shit. So you should go down there and
everything that's not licensed,
right,
is going on.
This actually reminds me a lot of Creature from the Black Lagoon. I think there are like.
Here we go.
Yeah. So presumably some of this was in 3D, but like, was it really everything but the ocean?
Yeah.
This is where they are in an undersea haunted house. That reminds of shit. What's that Doug McClure one where they go
3D. Doug McClure.
Yeah, it was like War Gods of the Deep or something. It had really crappy special effects and parts. Romantic drama. Because at this point, they don't know that the sharks attacked anyone. They don't know about the guys on the boat, and they haven't found Shelby Overman yet. It's a great white shark.
Hey, what's that shark doing?
And boom. Gotta keep the shark healthy. The more it goes out of the water, the worse the model looks.
The fucker is so stiff.
Now we find out that Simon McCorkindale cares too. That's a bad sign.
Look at Beavis back there.
Mm-hmm. It's not a glamorous day for extras.
Florida citizens there.
Uh-huh. Florida
Jeez.
man.
Yeah, for sure. Well, no more shark.
So does she have a showdown with Lou Gossett Jr.? I can't remember.
Oh, this is where
no, because the
real deal shows up.
So we are 58 minutes in, which means there are 40 minutes left. And starting with them getting on the water here, that's basically about it's going to be we're going to kick off the action here.
They don't even have those anymore.
I mean,
I think they used to have those at Six Flags.
yeah, the bumper boats. And then there were the places that would have bumper boats, but it was like in a very contained area. So you bump a lot more. So it wasn't like a boat thing. It was just the bumping.
You just, boom. You know, everywhere you moved, somebody would just hit you.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I mean, in the disaster movie thing, it sets up the set. The setting is important, and the setting in 1 and 2 isn't important like this. Boom. Yes, body. They didn't cut that well, but some guy freaked out and pushed her against the glass.
Her into the.
Come on. Oh, that's right. She realizes that it's a shark attack. Gross. Ooh, something coming out of his mouth. And some hair on that Andy Robinson lookalike over there.
It's not one of the guys from Emergency, is it? And then she freaks out.
Mm-hmm. Because the bite radius. Don't forget the bite radius.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no way that little shark did that kind of damage.
No.
That's they're assuming that we are smart enough to pick up on that, but they will tell Calvin Bouchard that in a scene. Okay, so like they were in the foreground and the rest was in the background. Seriously, they thought that was a good 3D thing to do. Fake looking fucking fish things. Like, Jesus. Okay.
Sharks don't like that. Marine segregation.
So this is the thing though, like you can't give Lou Gossett only one Academy Award for doing this thing, right? Because then every other time he does it, he doesn't get an Academy Award.
No. Devil.
Did he ever play another Cajun? I want to see whatever think so. It is.
No. Yeah.
Because by the 90s, he didn't do shit like that anymore.
No, he had like a ton of Iron Eagles under his belt.
Yeah, he basically, he just was Cappy, but like, or whatever the guy's name was, but like.
Okay, here comes the greatest line in the movie. When she tells him about the bite radius. Okay, here it comes.
Uh-huh.
The damn shark's mother?
Right? And like, how?
Oh, wow. And it knew exactly where they were.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Where's that shot? There's a shot coming up that Roger Corman would have said no to.
Hey. It's Florida, not Hawaii, but hey, why not, right?
Right. We get to see more of more SeaWorld attractions. Yeah, dude. No, because those were Native American from Florida dressed up in a combination Hawaiian.
No, those were Cubano.
Good God. I mean, that's probably very accurate for what SeaWorld was like, right? Like, okay, is this guy going to bump into him because he's an asshole? Is it one of those movies?
Yeah, there we go.
Yep. Stole his popcorn truck. Bum.
Is that product placement? Is that Hawaiian Punch?
I don't know, man, but if Richard Lester had directed this, that would have been the start of a 15-minute fucking slapstick sequence.
Popcorn all over the place. Whoa.
Dabney Coleman's just trying to help, man.
Get out of the water. Get the bloody hell out. Oh.
Got a control room. Like, it's got monitors. What more do you want from a fucking 80s movie than control room and monitors, plus location shooting, where there's no way they would have ever been able to put all that shit together if they weren't shooting it at SeaWorld.
Stop the engine, Chuck. Get out of the water.
This is his Chief Brody moment. I think this is going to be so this is obviously a trailer moment.
This was a trailer shot.
They've been promising us this for but also it's different because everybody knows there's a fucking shark in one of these movies for once, instead of everybody arguing about it. Like, there's no Murray Hamilton here. Like,
well, there's an equivalent too, because Lou Gossett kind of plays both sides.
Yeah, but not once the shark starts causing trouble.
Mm-hmm. He's a little more helpful.
Yeah. So that shark's big enough that it can eat, like, they always can eat you in a single bite, but that shark should be able to get 2 people in. I don't remember what the body count is in this. I don't think it's that big. Because
none of them get it, right?
No.
But for some reason,
somebody gets hurt.
Oh, wait.
No?
Yeah, Leah Thompson gets hurt.
Yep.
But how do you go from... Oh, here we go. She falls in.
Dude. They sort of don't pay attention to it, but that dude hit them again to knock them into the water. Like... And giant shark.
See how it went out and pulled right back?
Mhm.
I guess that's all they had was the head.
Oh, and you got some blood.
What the hell is that?
Okay.
Okay,
Do
somebody
any of
else
them
is
get it?
hurt.
You're assuming that's blood. Somebody could have shit the water.
So only 3 actual victims at this point.
Yeah.
The 2 divers, Malibu Express.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Because it's a giant monster, like, or we don't know that yet, but it's about to be a giant monster movie. Like, it's not a gross. Thanks.
Yeah. And fuck them dolphins.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. We call that one God's will. Look at them.
Look at them.
Look how they look
at him. Look at how they're looking at him. They're just like, okay. How much? What do you want from a movie that has a grown man in Oshkosh bagoshes? Okay, because like this is when this movie is from. It's when grown men wore Oshkosh bagoshes in movies. Like, leave it alone.
Oh man. He's dressed like a My Buddy doll. What the fuck? Shit.
All right, so he's not paying attention, but here we go. Giant shark composite shot.
Will Vinton's claymation shark attack.
Mm-hmm. It makes you wonder though, like, what if they had gone to ILM? Like, that would have been the smart move.
Yeah, they could have at least made it somewhat reasonably
I think
realistic
ILM
looking.
did the Abyss. I think maybe they did the Abyss, but that would have been their last or their first undersea adventure, I think. Unless they did Atlantis and fucking Splash or something. All right, so now they're getting locked in. Oh man, did you see that guy in the cutoff? Ew.
See, I told you that shit was very much an early 80s.
But then they tried to bring it back. Why?
Yeah, they brought it back a little later.
Uncredited extras in Panic.
You see, some of them are laughing. Right. Now shut up. Look at the old man laughing in the back.
It is like a very cool and collected tour guide. They could use her at Jurassic World.
This is, Jurassic World fucking stole a lot from this.
Yeah, that always pisses me off when shit steals from the derided entry or whatever. It's like, really? Oh, it sucks, but you
Oh,
aped it.
more product placement.
Coca-Cola.
And the very shapely behind of Bess Armstrong here. Very nice shot.
I'm not sure you should be smoking in there.
No, it's the 80s.
Okay, is this a 3D shot too?
It shouldn't be.
Okay, so they just resolved their romantic drama. They're gonna go off to the Bahamas together. And he's gonna go back to school or something.
Oh, NBC's got it covered. Two deputies from the Disney Sheriff's Office.
So people are being evacuated from the undersea kingdom. So it is just a disaster movie at this point with a giant shark thrown in. Like,
They've been trapped under there for hours at this point. I'll be mad as hell. Sue in the park.
mm-hmm.
You know, people, assholes down here pissed in the water.
Right? I wonder if the people who did that shot were like, we're going to be famous for this forever. For this scene.
Doesn't it seem like there's a lot less people in there than there was before?
So, is this the only Jaws movie that has two separate shark hunts? I think so.
Yeah.
Unless you count the idiots in the harbor in the first one. But otherwise.
Yeah, this is two dedicated shark hunts.
Mm-hmm. Dueling shark hunting philosophies here. She's smoking again? Jesus.
Actually, they said he was very much on the booger sugar at the time, too.
Yeah, he got cleaned up in the late 80s.
Mm.
And then once he and Meg Ryan broke up, he slowly went to shit in other ways. But yeah, this was the first sort of attempt at Dennis Quaid's career. Like, he only really ended up taking a couple years off. Like, you forget how fast this stuff turned around back then. Because Interspace was 87.
Yeah. He had a pretty good run.
Yeah.
Like, where he was one of the few that turned himself around for him, you know?
Yeah.
That other one nobody remembers with John Goodman, Everybody's All American. That shit was fucking great.
There's that one. Yeah. That was after he turned himself around, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that was late 80s.
Yeah.
DOA. Big Easy. Yeah.
But it's like
Enemy Mine.
Yeah. Enemy Mine was like right in the middle of it. It was like there's before Enemy Mine and after Enemy Mine. And it's like, that's a weird ass fucking career separation point. But that's sort of when it became clear he could do the sort of the
Right.
discount Harrison Ford.
TJ Maxx Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm. When at this point, he's just Dennis Quaid from Breaking Away and other movies type thing. Like, it's not.
He's Dennis Quaid, not Kurt Russell.
I hate to say it, but you could probably make a pretty cool Jaws movie now. Just special effects wise, like
effects wise, yeah. But even with what we have, stupid Sci-Fi Channel keeps doing dumb shit like Sharknado.
There's no way to do a good one, but like not
the
bad.
Meg could have been good.
Yeah.
That could have been really good, but
Deep Blue Sea was not really good.
All you watch it for is the Sam scene, and then after that, you don't even have to watch the rest. Okay. That should have just been the end of it.
Here we go. So they're using sound to attract Mother, by the way. Mm-hmm. That shitty model.
Ugh.
Just like people will come for the 3D. It doesn't matter what we do. That might be the only shot that there's a shark. The shark models with a person.
Oh man.
Things have not hit worst case yet, so they don't have any lines. They're extras who should have lines, but they don't get lines. Or maybe the guy gets a line at some point.
No, she rattled off some.
Did she?
Technical.
I feel like he gets a line later on.
Nothing significant.
What a great rope. You would think if you were an international undersea British guy, you'd have a better rope. Oh, shit. I forgot which one died. Oh, spoiler. Sorry. One of them dies. Look at this fucking stupid thing.
This is when Simon gets it.
Yeah. I forgot. I thought it was the other guy. But then
So apparently the shark sucked him in.
Yep.
As opposed to just getting straight ate up.
Not biting him, but is swallowing him whole. So that means that he will dissolve in its whatever.
Yeah.
Though, as we learn in Jaws 1, sharks have a very slow digestive system. So he's in there with some license plates. It's kind of surprising that SeaWorld let them, if not disparage the brand, imply that your vacation to SeaWorld could end with a giant shark killing you.
Trapped underwater somewhere. I don't know why you going, white girl.
We just missed his line too, so he's got a sad card. Okay, so now she's going to help Dennis Quaid, who is welding stuff. Presumably, that was not a 3D shot and just teasing one, which is an interesting choice. Oh, wow. Some great special effects. Okay, now we get the resolution to this subplot. This is where we find out Simon Corkindale didn't make it. There we go. That's what it is. He's the nephew. Just a show with Calvin Bouchard being a shitty boss to them and just being fucking just their coffee breaks, right? Like after shift. Just them
I said 15
shit.
minutes. God, look at him trying to muster up emotion.
I feel like that's the scene where other people who they approached with that part were like, no, I'm not. I'm not doing it. Sorry. Mm. Come on, Sharky.
Now get the hell out of there.
Trying to think what else has control room sequences. Jurassic Park.
Any airport movie. Or like we said earlier, Die Hard 2.
Yeah. The shark is now backing out in reverse, which might not be possible. Like, if sharks have to, I think sharks have to keep swimming. Well, that might be one of those, like, they sort of need to keep moving, but I don't think they go in reverse.
I wonder how big that one is that they're using for all those shots.
Well, we'll see if it looks like. Oh man, that is such a bad. So this is a 35-foot long shark, which it is gigantic compared to any of the other ones. And now the dolphins are going to fuck with it. Also, the shark isn't moving. Oh my God, they're poking it. I forgot about this. They're actually poking it.
Hey.
Hey now, that is rude.
Oh.
What about a spin-off cartoon about the dolphins? They could talk on it.
Well, that's what the whole Jaws cartoon would be then. But then again, Jaws would be turned into a good guy shark. That would help the humans.
That's its tooth? Jaws with a lot of complicated machinery.
This shark too is somewhat seeking revenge.
Yes, this one is seeking revenge about the baby. It's not seeking revenge because he's a Brody. But yeah, I mean, the shark in Jaws 2 was seeking revenge because it sensed that Brody had killed, that they'd killed the shark. 4, obviously. So they're all basically Jaws the Revenge.
Yeah, they're all some shark exacting some form of revenge.
What they should have done is have Brody go on vacation with the family in the second one, and he happens across a shark. Should have done the Die Hard version of a Jaws.
Yeah. Why is this always happening now?
Did we establish that there was a bench they could sit on, or has the water been lowering and we missed it?
Yeah, the water lowered.
Okay.
Yeah, let me out.
So they're safe and presumably not going to sue. Okay, here we go.
The grand finale here.
Slow motion. And
here it goes.
Come on. 3D. Yeah. 3D. Glass breaking in 3D.
That's actually pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
The room filling up.
Yep. Oh shit! Does anybody save the lady?
He does.
Hell yeah, he does.
His nephew, not so lucky.
Nephew. The cut scene where Calvin Bouchard's exploded.
Oh wow!
He gives his sister the foot. He's like, here, I saved his Adidas. There you go. There's your stop motion. Oh shit, that's right.
Because he wasn't swallowed all the way.
Right. It's like the Alien director's cut where they find Tom Skerritt, except fucking Simon McCorkindale's still alive in there.
Music's not bad though.
No, I don't feel like Alan Parker did a lot of other stuff, but he does a good job.
So they were willing to be down there and blow up with the shark then, because ain't really much way outside of there.
No, they're a selfless hero couple. Boom. Hiding under a desk underwater. It's one way to do an explosion. Boom.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. There you go. There the
There you go.
Flying out
Jaws.
at you. Jaws. 3D. And fading out. How does that even work? How would that have even looked that they faded out on the thing?
Okay.
So it's another ocean movie that ends with people happily surfacing, which also happens
sunrise.
Also happens in The Abyss and Leviathan.
Mm-hmm.
But do those movies have
happy dolphins
surviving the ordeal? No, they don't. And it's okay. Look at it do. It does the spin on its own.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. See Cindy and Sandy the next time you're at fucking SeaWorld. Oh, God, that's in 3D.
Yeesh. That looks so bad.
That might have been better on video where they cropped out the dolphins.
Right. Or any old print from TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the DVD of this is from, because they have it out now, I think 3D on Blu-ray, and it's like the technology, nobody maintained the technology needed to convert from early 80s 3D well, so.
More Star Trek
film works.
Credit.
Fast going credits too. They're hurrying their way through.
Let's get you folks out of these theaters and into the next movie.
All right. Alan Parker previously did music for British television was all he had done. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, Wikipedia is nice enough to link to Revenge of the Creature or whatever. So they know what's up. Okay, trivia.
Soundtrack available on MCA.
Yep, I had the tape. Still have it, actually. I still have the tape somewhere. Trivia. The studio pushed for more 3D. They wanted it to not be shitty, but
Aerovision 3D. SeaWorld, Shamu, Cindy, Sandy, trademarks of SeaWorld.
Very fast cast list there. A few people are using its first name character, first name of the actor, because why bother with more? Okay, let's see. David Brown and Richard D. Zanuck originally pitched the spoof idea based on a suggestion by Maddie Simmons and John Hughes. When Steven Spielberg heard of it, he threatened to walk on the deal with his deal with Universal, and then Zanuck and Brown quit the studio or something. Let's see. Shark's 10 feet longer than other movies. Dennis Quaid once referred to the movie as I was in Jaws what? Highest grossing opening for a 3D movie until Spy Kids 3.
Damn.
Yep.
Wow.
In later interviews, screenwriter Richard Matheson claimed the film was bedeviled by script doctors who ruined the central premise of a great white shark swimming upstream and becoming trapped in a lake. So very, very Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the list of 3D movies in the early 80s cycle. Star Chaser, Metal Storm, The Destruction of Jared Sin, Parasite, Amityville, Coming at Ya, and Space Hunter was 3D, and then also Treasure of the Four Crowns. What else? Only Jaws movie not to be directly made by Universal Pictures, made by Alan Landsberg Productions.
Oh, yeah, we saw that at the tail end there.
Dennis Quaid picked a fight at the bar for asking, for somebody asking Leigh Thompson for her autograph. Dennis Quaid says he was high during every shot. The Gordon Trueblood original storyline is the Jaws. Oh, original storyline was not pitched as a Jaws sequel, but turned into one after Jaws 3 People Zero. Okay.
See?
Peter Firth and David Warner passed on Philip Fitzroyce. So David Warner wouldn't do this. Here's some shitty IMDb trivia. When Mike is walking with Kay along the beach and he refers to the shark attack in Amity that she was told about, this is a direct reference to the sailboat attack in Jaws 2. No, it's not. No. It refers to the shark attack in Jaws 1. So there you go. Okay, so that's the rundown on IMDb trivia there. Not a lot of that. Now let's hit up our Leonard Maltin review here. What are you going to bet Leonard gave it?
Either a star or a star and a half.
He doesn't do stars. So Maltin's bomb, 1.5. No, he's got no one. He combines
probably 1.5.
Okay, you think so? Let's see. I got to get a good year here. 93, I'll have it. Come on. Where is it? How does the alphabet work? Okay, Jaws 3D, 2 stars. Fuck yeah, Leonard Maltin. Fuck yeah. Road Company Irwin Allen type disaster, unrelated to first 2 Jaws except by contrivance. This time a shark's on the loose in Florida SeaWorld. Does this make it an unofficial remake of Revenge of the Creature? Might play on TV, but in theaters, its only real assets were excellent 3D effects that we did not see. Holy shit, he also gave Jaws 4 2 stars. So,
damn. Really?
Yeah.
I would think he would give that a bomb.
You would think.
Shit.
Yeah. So since we didn't read this on the first episode, here's the Jaws 4. 2 stars. Watchable but mediocre retread of Jaws the 4th time around, with Gary as the widow of Sheriff Scheider from the original film, who's convinced that the great white shark is deliberately seeking out and killing off members of her family. Marginal movie is really sunk by its stupid, abrupt finale. Kane is wasted in frivolous supporting role set mostly in the Bahamas. So there you go. If you've never experienced just reading a Maltin guide, I highly recommend it. Okay. So Jaws 3D, man. I dig me Jaws 3D. I still do. I don't care.
Yeah. I make no apologies either. It is what it is. It's
It is what it is, and what
great.
it is.
It's entertaining as hell.
Right. Like, if you went to see this in theaters in 1983, this was a lot more satisfying of an experience than something like Superman 3. Let's just be honest. Like,
yeah,
you got your $3 tickets worth with this one.
it just has summer movie written all over it. Just fun summer movie.
And it's just from a bad era of special effects, right? Like, people hadn't given up on trying to do special effects movies yet. They would, like, you forget that, or I think collectively we forget that in between, say, E.T., or not E.T. because I was 82, but so from like 84 to 94, nobody tried to do special effects shit except for Spielberg, Lucas, and Cameron coming in at the end, right? Like, other than that, it took until Roland Emmerich finally convinced somebody to give him some money for them to start, for you to start seeing blockbuster special effects. So there you go. Star Trek being an exception because they had ILM special effects. So if you weren't ILM, I guess is what I'm saying.
Star Trek throughout the 80s, those were tentpole. That was that people forget those were kind of the equivalent of like what we see as MCU now.
That was your only series with that many sort of interconnected entries, because once,
with the exception of like slasher movies like Friday the 13th,
right? But those, like Nightmare on Elm Street, had more continuity but not in cast, right? But not in cast. And then the Indiana Jones movies did separate adventures. They weren't like, and I mean, even the Star Wars movies, there's a break in between the action of them. It's not like your Rockies or Karate Kids that it picks up immediately after. It took a long time for people to figure out how to make movie series. Like, it's really kind of weird.
Yeah.
And some of it is definitely Sylvester Stallone's fault.
All the damn Rockies.
All of it taken, like, what year does Rocky actually take place? Like 1980 or something? Like the whole series?
Well, the first one don't it take place?
The first one takes place in 76 because
you can't even, when you watch them, honestly, you could take 1 and 2 and say, hey, that's a complete movie for itself. And then once you go to 3, 4, 5, it's kind of weird.
Pick up right after the other one.
Yeah.
So if he's defending the title in 77 or whatever, right? Like, that would mean that the next one is 78 and the next one's 79. And
by the time you get to Rocky 5, it should be 82.
Right.
81, 82.
Right. And it's like, no, it's 1990, man. Like,
he's literally watching Christmas Vacation on TV and shit.
Right. The Karate Kid movies are the same way. They take place over like a year, the 3 of them.
Yeah, within months of each other, because 2 and 3, 3 picks up this like right after they get back from 2, despite the fact that Daniel did a lot of healthy eating over there in Okinawa, because that's the one where Machio has a gut.
All right. So next time we will be talking about Jaws the original.
We'll be wrapping up our season.
And so that's on tap. I don't know.
Teasing what we do next.
Yes.
Where we go next.
Indeed. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is Jaws 3 streaming anywhere? Like, don't stop with 2. You watch your Jaws.
Right. Give 3 another shot.
Yeah, give 3 a shot.
3 is damned entertaining. And, you could do a lot worse than Jaws 3, basically.
Exactly.
But I mean, if you're going to watch any Jaws movie and you've seen 1 and 2 too many damn times,
3's what you got. It's your giant shark movie. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. Sorry that I think we zoned and just watched a lot of Jaws 3, as one does, because how can you not just watch Lou Gossett Jr.?
Right. Lou Gossett Jr. is on fire in this movie.
It's a shame that Enemy Mine had no Jaws 3 references. It really should have.
None.
No. All right. I don't know. What was the Jaws' tagline? I don't even remember the
For
first
this one?
No, the first one. As we set up next time.
Oh, I don't even remember what the first one was. Because 2 was,
just when you thought it was safe to go back.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, and that set it all off. But the first one, I don't know.
Oh wow. Okay. Amity Island had everything. Oh. Clear skies, gentle surf, warm water. People flocked there every summer. It was the perfect feeding ground. So, oh no, here we go. So that's a very Spielberg-y one. But then on IMDb, there's a bunch of...
narrated by Percy Rodriguez or Adolf Caesar.
There's a bunch of taglines on IMDb. There is a creature alive. This was in the trailer. There is a creature alive today that has survived millions of years of evolution without change, without passion, without logic. It lives to kill. A mindless eating machine. It will attack and devour anything. Try to imagine meeting the devil, like in The Exorcist, with Jaws. Oh,
yep. There you go.
They managed to tie it into The Exorcist.
Tie it into The Exorcist, because up to that point,
that was
the scariest movie in history.
All right. So that's next time, folks. Until then, stay out of the water.
We're staying out of the water and closing up 80s Florida SeaWorld and heading back to good old Amity Island.
Back to the 70s. All right. Night, everybody.
Night, y'all.
You heard him. Slow ahead. Slow ahead. I can go slow ahead. Come on down and chum some of this shit.
Jaws! Get away from me! Jaws! You goddamn Jaws! Won't you leave me as I am? You took me. You took me out of the deep blue. You took and you made me part of you. Now, Jaws, you found someone new. Why? Jaws, why? Wasn't I enough for you?